Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty, originally airing on March 18th, 2021. That is going to be important for two reasons, the first of which is that yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. Anybody who listened to the show last week heard my wife Courtney and I do a dining review for Finnegan's Bar and Grill at Universal Studios, Florida. Well, keeping with the Irish pub trend, this week Courtney and I will be doing a dining review for Raglan Road at Disney Springs in Walt Disney World. That review will be coming up at the end of the episode. Before that, we are going to delve in depth into a taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2021, which started earlier this month. I've already had the chance to be there. Courtney is going to be joining me this upcoming Monday. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I got to experience on the first day I visited for 2021. And Courtney is going to tell us about some of the things she's looking forward to experiencing when she goes on Monday. Before we get started, I just want to say there are a few ways that you can help out the show. First of all, if you're catching us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, comment. All of those things really, really do help us. It would mean the world to me if you would like, subscribe, and comment. Also, if you're getting the itch to get back out there and travel, get a free, no-obligation quote on a Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando Resort, or any other type of vacation by shooting me an email, rick@eartotheretravel.com, rick@eartotheretravel.com. You can give me a call, 727-507-3123, and I want to say a lot of these pictures of the items I'm discussing today, along with video from the parks, can be found on my Facebook page, facebook.com/eartothererick. I am an authorized Disney travel planner, and all of my services are 100% free to you. And of course, like I said earlier, it does really, really help the show. With all of that being said, let's get into it and start talking about a taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2021. The event got started on March 3rd, and here to help me discuss it, my wife Courtney. Courtney, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey Rick, thanks so much for having me.
So I've already had the chance to experience this festival once this year. Courtney, you haven't been able to make it yet in 2021, but you have been to the festival in the past.
Right, I went a bunch of times in 2019. I didn't get to go last year before the closure, but I'm so excited that we already have our Epcot Park Pass reservation for Monday.
So that'll give you the chance to discuss some of the things you have experienced in past years, but also you'll get to talk about some of the things you're excited to see for the first time in 2021. We are going to get started with something you have already experienced, and this may be the biggest feature, the thing people enjoy the most about this festival, and that's the topiaries. Throughout Epcot, there are these beautiful, basically works of art made out of plants. A word I find myself using almost every episode of Tall Guy Talks Travel is Instagrammable. It is very, very Instagrammable, this festival and its topiaries. So we're going to talk about some of them. So in past years, Courtney, what are some of your favorites that you've seen?
Definitely love Anna and Elsa in Norway, Snow White in Germany, Belle and Beast in France, and then you've gotta love Kermit over in the UK.
Yeah, Kermit's there in the UK Pavilion with Miss Piggy. Actually, also at the UK Pavilion, you can get Tinkerbell. That's one of my favorites. And Winnie the Pooh and Friends, of course, everybody loves Pooh Bear. Elsewhere throughout Epcot, you can see Figment in front of the Imagination Pavilion, Sorcerer Mickey right as you're entering Epcot from the main entrance, right there in front of Spaceship Earth. Buzz Lightyear's out in front of Mission Space, and on your walk between Future World and World Showcase, you get Pluto and my personal favorites, Chip and Dale. I just want to take this moment to remind everybody that Dale is better than Chip. Now, these topiaries aren't just Disney characters. There are also some butterflies, and in the China Pavilion, there are pandas, and at the Japan Pavilion, there's a dragon. The dragon is right underneath the big gate there with Spaceship Earth behind it. That is a great photo opportunity. You definitely want to make sure you hit that if you are at Flower and Garden this year. No Epcot festival would be complete without some sort of scavenger hunt that's going to cost you $7.99 for a map. And of course, Flower and Garden is no different. This year we have Spike's Pollen Nation Exploration 2021. This is coming after you had to search for Remy during Food and Wine, Olaf during Festival of the Holidays, and Figment during Festival of the Arts. So, Courtney, you did 3 of the 4. You haven't done Spike's Pollination Exploration 2021 yet, but you did the scavenger hunt for Food and Wine, for Festival of the Holidays, and for Festival of the Arts. Which one was your favorite?
I think I have to say Olaf for Festival of the Holidays, because that was teaching you about different holiday traditions around the world.
I don't know if the Flower and Garden scavenger hunt where you try to find Spike the Bee is my favorite of the scavenger hunts, but I will say this, it is definitely the most challenging. Disney designs these things so that the entire family can do them together, so maybe at one pavilion it's a little harder to find the thing than another pavilion because they want the kid to be able to find it at that one. This one was almost hard. The previous ones we mentioned for Food and Wine, Festival of the Holidays, and Festival of the Arts were mostly confined to World Showcase, but this one is all throughout Epcot. It's really going to help you to pick up a festival passport at the beginning of the day. They have them right as you enter the park. On pages 4 and 5 of the passport, they have garden destinations listed. Spike is located in 12 of those garden destinations, but actually, one of them isn't even listed in the passport. So here is a hint for anybody who's trying to complete this scavenger hunt. The Tips of the Trade Garden is actually in the back of the World Showplace building, which is in between the Canada and UK pavilions. I saw a lot of people throughout the day going up to cast members and asking them about that particular location. So trust me, just know, Tips of the Trade is in the World Showplace building. To get the map for Spike's Pollination Exploration 2021, you can go to a bunch of different stores or kiosks. It is $7.99, but I will tell you this, if you are an annual pass holder, your discount does work for this. After you've completed your map, you can take it to one of 3 different merchandise locations, and you will get a set of decorative character plates. You can choose from 3 different characters, Minnie Mouse, Spike the Bee, and of course, no Epcot festival would be complete unless one of those options was Figment. As one of those sad and pathetic men in his 40s who still remembers the glory of the original Figment ride, of course, I picked Figment.
Yeah, I saw when you brought the plates home, and they were really cute.
Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of the show, the original air date for this episode is March 18th. If you are listening to this the day it debuts, then that means this gets started tomorrow. The Eggstravaganza scavenger hunt throughout World Showcase. It is a limited time event starting March 19th. Join a colorful Easter egg hunt inspired by Disney characters. I'm not 100% sure what that is yet. However, as Courtney mentioned earlier, we are going on Monday, and I guarantee you we're going to take advantage of this and figure out what it is, and I'm going to have plenty of pictures up on my Facebook page, facebook.com/eartothererick.
I'm really looking forward to this experience starting in April. It's called Growing the Future, and I'm just going to read it right from the booklet. Watch science from scientist friends in a fun and fascinating experience that explores how cutting-edge technology paired with agricultural science can transform the way we seed the future. So I'm really looking forward to this. This is exciting to me, especially because I am a scientist. I think it might tie in really well with the Land Pavilion, especially in particular the Living with the Land ride.
Flower and Garden is lasting a long time. It's going all the way until July 5th. There are some more experiences like the Goodness Garden Butterfly House and the Healthful Trail that we are going to talk about in a future episode, but there's so much happening in this festival and it's lasting for such a long time that I wanted to save more for a future episode on Flower and Garden after we've experienced it a few more times. I had to save those things for a future episode because I know you've been waiting for one thing and one thing only, and that's to hear about some of the food options from A Taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2021. So this is what we are going to do as we discuss the food options. Courtney is going to give you an item she really wants to try or that she has tried at a Flower and Garden in the past. After that, I'm going to tell you about one of the items I have already tried at Flower and Garden in 2021, and we are going to alternate until it's time to move on to our dining review for Raglan Road at Disney Springs. So, Courtney, as you are looking over your festival passport, what is the first thing that has caught your eye?
Okay, at the Flavorful Kitchen, I'm seeing seared salmon with risotto and micro herbs. I'm a seafood fan, so this is really speaking to me.
Yeah, Courtney, you've actually found a lot of salmon dishes that you really like at the different Epcot festivals. I'm going to start with one of the items that I liked the least. This is at Taste of Marrakesh near the Morocco Pavilion. It was the lemon Magdalena cake with fig, compote, and sangria gel. This is 100% plant-based. It's also a part of the Garden Graze where you get 5 different items and each one gives you a stamp, and if you eat all 5, you get a free item at the end of it. The sangria gel was really, really good, but I just felt that the lemon cake itself was a little dry. I mean, I'm not even a fan of lemon in sweeter desserts like this. Anyway, it was okay. It was beautiful. Took great pictures. Here's the word again, Instagrammable. It looks great. Just not my favorite option. All right, Courtney, what else has caught your eye?
I remember really liking the Honey Bistro 2 years ago, and I had a local wildflower honey mascarpone cheesecake. This year, I'm also looking forward to having the lavender honey mustard marinated chicken flatbread. It has a whipped honey ricotta cheese, marinated vegetables, and purple haze lavender goat cheese.
Now I'm going to move over to the Trowel and Trellis booth, which is hosted by Impossible. So these are all plant-based options. Anybody who doesn't know, Impossible makes veggie burgers, and they have a lot of sponsorships with Walt Disney World, and one of those is this booth. When I was in line, I noticed a lot of people getting the grilled street corn on the cob with savory garlic spread. There's also an Impossible sausage and kale soup. I will definitely try both of those options before the festival comes to an end in July, but this time I tried the boneless Impossible Korean short rib with cilantro lime rice, danmuji slaw, and kimchi mayonnaise. This was really, really good, but I actually like Impossible meat so much that I didn't think it needed the barbecue sauce. The kimchi mayonnaise was great. I just think the barbecue sauce actually might have been a little too much. It was already flavorful before that. I also got the dessert, the lavender pâte de crème with blueberry cake, pink peppercorn, and lime whipped cream. Of course, it's not real cream. It is all 100% plant-based. This was a great dessert. It was really creamy. I know it's not really creamy, but it tasted creamy. The only thing about it was it does have that little bit of a flowery, perfumey taste to it. I know that's intentional, so you can't make that a knock against it. It's just not my particular favorite flavor, but it's sweet without being too sweet. It's light. It's a little bit airy. You're definitely going to like this dessert, even if that flour taste, very, very slight flour taste, is a little bit off-putting to you.
I'm also excited to try the food over in the China Pavilion at the Lotus House. So there's a papa cakes, potato cakes filled with shrimp and water chestnuts, served with house-made strawberry sauce. The interesting thing to me here is pairing something savory with a sweet, fruity type of a sauce. That sounds really good to me.
Yeah, I know at Festival of the Arts you also got a dish you really liked at the China Pavilion that had water chestnuts in it, so they definitely do that well. I'm hoping you like that one also. Moving on to Refreshment Port in Showcase Plaza near Canada, I got the house-made Italian sausage and peppers poutine. This was a plant-based sausage once again. So I have said this before on the show, as a vegetarian, I think sausage is the easiest thing to replicate if you're trying to make a plant-based version of it. And this was just really, really good. It was crispy theme park fries with this Italian sausage and peppers poutine on top. Those of us who are vegetarian or vegan don't always get the chance to try a really, really good poutine, but this was one. It was a little pricey at $9, but still it was filling. A whole bunch of people came up to me and asked me what I was eating when I was eating it, and some of the people who are even meat eaters went and got it based just on my description. So I recommend this even if you are a meat eater. It is the house-made Italian sausage and peppers poutine at Refreshment Port in Showcase Plaza near Canada.
So as far as desserts go, I think I'm really looking forward to something at the Citrus Blossom, which is the Showcase Plaza near the port of entry. This is a citrus shortcake. It has orange chiffon cake, lemon curd, mandarins, whipped cream, and a citrus crumble. I'm a fan of citrus, and this sounds really refreshing. Rick, I know there's one more item that you really want to discuss because you were pretty much blown away by it, so tell us about it.
I was so excited when I found out Jardín de Fiestas near the Mexico Pavilion was going to have a plant-based option. Usually at other festivals, all of their options have meat, but the Sope de Chorizo is plant-based ground chorizo on fried corn dough with black beans and avocado mousse. As the kids would say, this was off the chains. The fried corn dough was almost like eating off of a plate made of warm Fritos. I think that's the best way to describe it. It was fantastic, almost what the Fritos must taste like right when they come off the assembly line. The plant-based ground chorizo was tasty. The avocado mousse really set everything apart because it balanced out the spiciness of the dish. I definitely recommend this option at Jardín de Fiestas near the Mexico Pavilion. As I mentioned earlier, a taste of Epcot International Flower and Garden Festival 2021 lasts until July 5th. Courtney and I are going together this Monday. We're definitely going to talk about it on Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty a few more times before July. So you'll hear about some drink options, some more desserts that Courtney's going to try, some more plant-based options that I'm going to try. We'll talk a whole lot more about Flower and Garden this year. But now we want to move on to our dining review of Raglan Road at Disney Springs in Walt Disney World because we just got past St. Patrick's Day. Last week, we did a dining review for Finnegan's Bar and Grill in Universal Studios, Florida. We thought we'd head down I-4 and check out the Irish pub at Walt Disney World. We actually go to Raglan Road rather frequently, but usually we're just picking up a couple appetizers and stopping in to get some air conditioning and some entertainment while we're shopping at Disney Springs. But we thought this time we would sit down, we would get some entrees, we'd enjoy the ambiance, and really give you a full dining review on Raglan Road. So Courtney, we started with the Irish soda bread. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
So a traditional Irish soda bread tends to have a little bit of maybe a bitter flavor and is dry. This was really a bit different. It was more of a wheat bread or grain flavor, very hearty, and it tasted like it was freshly baked. With it, you got a dipping sauce consisting of olive oil and Guinness. The Guinness gave it a sweet flavor, but not too sweet. It reminded me of a light maple syrup kind of flavor.
I started off with an appetizer of their onion rings. For those of you like me who are vegetarian, or if you're vegan, don't worry, the onion rings aren't cooked in the same oil as any of their meat products. Now, I usually get the ketchup with the onion rings because while they are very tasty, sometimes I would like just that little added bit of flavor to them, but they're really, really good. They are huge onion rings. I definitely recommend this option because it's one of those examples of traditional pub food.
For my entree, I had something called gnocchi si, gnocchi do. For those who don't know, gnocchi is usually a pasta dough that has potato incorporated into it, and it's Italian. So this was kind of a neat melding fusion of Italian and Irish food. It was handmade potato gnocchi with seared Foley's George's bank scallops, crispy pork belly, tomatoes, and kale in a white wine butter sauce. I absolutely loved this and thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really a treat for me. I think I've mentioned before that I am a seafood fan, and these scallops, it's something that I don't get to have very often at all, but they were melting in my mouth. The gnocchi also was very light and melted in my mouth. The sauce complemented everything so well.
I got a brand new dish called the Shepherd Went Vegan. It's farro barley, carrots, wild mushrooms, green onions, peas, and rutabaga, topped with olive oil mashed potatoes with a burnt onion gravy. So this was really, really good. The carrots were cooked and seasoned in a way that almost made them feel a little bit meaty, like it provided that perfect texture to the dish. The real star of the show, however, was the burnt onion gravy, which was phenomenal. Every forkful, I made sure I just dipped a little bit in that burnt onion gravy, and it added the perfect flavor to each and every bite. In case you were wondering, the onion rings were $8, the gnocchi si, gnocchi do was $29, and this Shepherd Went Vegan was $24. Unfortunately, annual pass holder discounts do not work at Raglan Road. Not to put down Finnegan's Bar and Grill that we reviewed last week at Universal Studios Florida, because we absolutely loved Finnegan's and we gave them a very good review. But that is a theme park Irish pub, and this is outside of a theme park. Raglan Road is a little classier, maybe a little bit more of an upscale of a vibe, so your food is going to be a little more expensive in that atmosphere. But speaking of the word atmosphere, that's where Raglan Road really, really shines. The bar is a very classic Irish pub feel to it. They have traditional Irish dancers. They have traditional Irish music. It is just a really great place to spend a few hours while you're eating a meal. Overall, I think I would say that Raglan Road is on my second tier of Walt Disney World restaurants, right behind my top tier, which is a tie for my favorite restaurant between Hollywood Brown Derby at Disney's Hollywood Studios and Tiffin's over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Would you maybe agree with me there, Courtney, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I really thoroughly enjoy Raglan Road. It just has that beautiful atmosphere. The food is solid and feels special. There are very few places that I think I would rather eat for a special occasion.
So there you have our quick dining review of Raglan Road in Disney Springs at Walt Disney World. Once again, a very happy belated St. Patrick's Day. Courtney, thank you for joining me for this episode. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. I really had a great time talking about some really great food.
This has been episode 7 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. I'm your host, Rick Doherty. Please help out the show if you're checking us out on YouTube. Like, subscribe, and comment. That really does help us get the show out to more people. And if you would like to help us in other ways, you can get a free, no obligation quote on your next Walt Disney World, Universal Orlando Resort, or any other type of vacation by shooting me an email, rick@eartotheretravel.com. That's rick@eartotheretravel.com. You can give me a phone call, 727-507-3123, 727-507-3123. My services are always 100% free to you. You will never pay a dime more using me as your travel agent. To see pictures and videos of a lot of these different food options, as well as other things going on in the theme parks, facebook.com/eartothererick, twitter.com/rick_ear, and instagram.com/rickear, the number 2, and there. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Tall Guy Talks Travel. We'll have another brand new episode on Thursday. I hope you have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.